Hello everyone, Hachadino over here, and today, for a while, we haven't been playing Path of Exile, but actually it hasn't been that long, only 2 weeks more or less. My last content was on April 17th or something like that, and they have been doing some changes, and it seems they are going to do a big thing to the item rarity. I still haven't tried this, but it's already up. Most likely when I come back, I'm going to find this. That now they have buffed wisps quite a lot. They are also explaining more or less how the rarity and thinking works. There's like a number that they put, and now you get more tier 2, 4, 3, and 5, etc. Rares. If you don't know what those are rares that have at least in the mods that they have available. If, for example, a mod is from tier 1 to tier 10, they will have a tier 5. If the mod only goes to tier 3, for example, it will have tier 3, etc. etc. They are very strong to get better gear, and I'm actually quite happy when I get big drops of tier 5s, because then I can know that maybe one of those actually worth something. You might expect most rares are not worth it, or with the limited things that we have to actually craft in PoE2, it's hard to make them usable. Now you can read this better well. I'm going to leave this, of course, in the description itself. And now unique bosses won't drop nothing. You know, sometimes you were unlucky and then you didn't get even one rare. Now they will always drop a rare item. Of course, to combat people just spam killing the boss, it will only be on the first kill. In maps, of course, you will always get it. Wisps now always make the mob drop a rare item, and that is good. And then, of course, there was a bug where you weren't getting that extra rarity or quantity. This is good for the people that actually have the wisps talented. I have them because there's a cool charm that can drop that is very valuable. And then chests themselves will be way more powerful. I have actually been having a good experience with chests. Like if they are rare, they usually have one exalt or something like that in them. But it is also in the campaign very important. There was also another thing that they did in the campaign. Remember, they put artificer orbs in a lot of places. That is very good. Strong boxes will have a lot of more quantity and rarity. And even sometimes I did have always the transmutations and augmentations. I didn't make most of my chest rare because it was just not worth it. Maybe it's worth it now because they will have cool more mobs. And then rare currency instead of magic currency. The variance of numbers. They should drop now a good number of items. Before you could open a strong box and get 2 items, and both of them were magic, let's say, so you didn't even see them in the filter. And then you will have the mods adjusted down, because sometimes you saw like 2500% increased rarity. If the rarity is 1, for the rarity, well, it's actually 0.0 something, it's not going to be more. But now if they're way stronger baseline, those mods are going to just be put a little bit down. Now with the trial of the schemas, this will need people to actually see them. The royal chests were quite rare, but the ones I was more interested about were the time lost and the other ones, and it seems there are no changes, so that is whatever. Now the trial of chaos will have less corrupted rares that are completely useless, sorry, and will have more currency stacks and other things. And items that drop from the monsters no longer have a chance to be corrupted. Expedition, it's kind of cool that we have more exotic coinage, because basically what you did with most vendors is just reroll until you had a decent rare to begin with. instead of trying to get one of the magic ones, because the chance that you actually didn't get a rare item from that magic was actually quite high. And now Delirium is just whatever, better now. And with Pinnacle content, just a lot more drops of Breach, Delirium, and more audiences with the King. Now, for the Corrupted Nexus things, you will need a lot less of them. Before you were getting, I think, was it 2 points? Yes. Now they will get 5, so more than double. That is very, very good. And now maybe they will have one of those lights thingies that comes from the sky. Although most of the time people were seeing them, and even me, we were scouting for the corrupted towers more than everything. So that was everything. I'm actually coming back to PoE2 likely after I kill Uber Avaroth, and maybe to do some other things in Path of Exile, in Last Epoch. So I'm actually kind of hyped to get my Wind Serpents, whatever, and Flicker Strike build from where I left it off. It's also likely that we get some WoW news, but that's for another day, another time, and another video.